In the autumn of 1651, a young German prince traveled south through the Papal States. He was Lutheran, he was rational, he was the future patron of the philosopher Leibniz. He had come to Assisi to see one thing. The friar he had come to see was 48 years old. He had been kept under enclosure for more than a decade by direct order of Rome. The prince was admitted to a small chapel where a mass was about to begin. He stood at the back. He did not give his name. At the moment of consecration, the friar cried out. Then he rose into the air. Witnesses said the friar hovered with his arms extended, suspended above the altar stones. For a length of time the prince could not measure. When the friar descended, the prince did not speak. Within months he had renounced his Lutheranism and entered the Catholic Church. He was the only member of his family ever to do so. This was not the only such testimony. Over a working lifetime of roughly 40 years, the friar was witnessed in flight by hundreds of people. At his convent in Grotella alone, more than 70 incidents were recorded before the chroniclers gave up keeping count. The witnesses included a sitting pope. They included cardinals, dukes, Spanish ambassadors, Lutheran philosophers, and physicians sent expressly to expose him. Many of their testimonies were taken under oath during the canonization inquests held in the decades after his death, while witnesses were still alive to be questioned. He is one of the most extensively documented mystics in the history of the Catholic Church, and almost no one had wanted him to be a priest in the first place. He was born in 1603 in a shed behind a small house in the Apulian village of Cupertino. His father had fled creditors. The family had been put out of their home. His mother gave birth to him among the animals. She named him Giuseppe, Joseph. As a child, he was strange. He would stop mid-sentence and stand motionless, mouth open, eyes fixed on nothing his companions could see. Other children mocked him. They called him Bocca Aperta, the open mouth. His own mother is recorded as describing him as good for nothing. He could not learn. He failed at the village school. At 17, he tried to enter the Capuchin friars and was accepted as a novice. After 8 months, they dismissed him for general ineptitude. He returned home in disgrace. His mother turned him away. He went to another Franciscan house and begged to be allowed to work in the stables. He stayed there for several years, tending the mules and sweeping the floors, until the friars noticed something they could not name in him and admitted him to the order. He still could not pass his examinations for the priesthood. By tradition, the bishop would open the Latin Bible at random and ask the candidate to expound on whatever passage fell beneath his hand. When Joseph's turn came, the bishop opened the book to a single verse, Beatus venter qui te portavit, blessed is the womb that bore thee. It was the one passage Joseph had studied. He spoke about it at length. He was ordained. 2 years later, during a procession on the feast of Saint Francis, Joseph rose from the ground in front of the assembled town and hovered above their heads. When he came down, he was so frightened that he ran to his mother's house and hid. The episodes did not stop. He flew during Mass, he flew during meals, lifting upward, still holding a plate of food. He flew while gardening. He flew when shepherds played music outside the friary at Christmas. He flew when he heard the names of Jesus or Mary spoken aloud. A cry would escape him first. Witnesses described it as something between a yelp and a sob. And then he would rise, sometimes a few feet, sometimes to the height of the church ceiling. Sometimes he would come to rest in the branches of a tree. The friars tried to keep him on the ground. They tried weighted shoes. They tried tying ropes around his waist. None of it worked. Word spread through Apulia, then through Italy. Crowds began to arrive at the friary to watch him say Mass. The Inquisition opened an investigation. They suspected witchcraft. They suspected demonic possession. After examining him, they cleared him of any charge. But the disruption could not be allowed to continue. In 1639, Joseph was summoned to Rome. The Father General of the Conventual Franciscans presented him to Pope Urban VIII. As Joseph bent to kiss the Pope's feet, he entered an ecstasy and rose into the air. The Father General had to command him, in obedience, to come back down. Urban VIII later said that if Joseph died before him, he would personally testify to what he had seen. After the audience, the Holy Office issued a decree. Joseph was to be removed from public life. He was moved from one religious house to another in increasing seclusion. First Assisi, where he remained for 13 years, then Pietrarubia, then Fossombrone, finally Osimo in the Marches. He was not allowed to celebrate Mass in public. He was not allowed to take meals with the other friars. He was kept in private chapels, attended only by appointed superiors, hidden from the visitors who continued to arrive looking for him. This was the strangest part of his life. The Church did not deny what was happening to him. The Church hid it. For the last 24 years of his life, the most witnessed mystic in the Catholic tradition was a man almost no one was permitted to see. He died at Osimo on the 18th of September, 1663. He was 60 years old. He had asked his confessor to bury him in a place where no one would remember him. He was canonized in 1767 by Pope Clement XIII. He is the patron saint of aviators, of pilots, of astronauts, and of students who fear they will fail their examinations. The child the village called Bocca Aperta, the open mouth, flew so often and so visibly during his lifetime that the chroniclers stopped writing it down. He is one of many. There were others. There will be others. But for 40 years in the south of Italy, a Franciscan friar rose from the ground in front of witnesses who could not explain what they had seen. And the church that loved him locked him away because it did not know what else to do.